Hello everyone. Carneades and the power of the mind. As head of the Platonic Academy in the 2nd century BCE, Carneades developed a sophisticated theory of freedom that challenged both Epicurean and Stoic positions. This fierce academic skeptic offered a distinctive solution to the problem of freedom, proposing that mental autonomy could exist without either strict determinism or random chance. Voluntary motion and control. Carneades criticized Epicurus for introducing the atomic swerve, arguing it was unnecessary for safeguarding human freedom. In his view, Epicurus would have done better to give the mind a special non-causal voluntary power than to claim the atoms had a special power to swerve uncaused. This insight positioned Carneades as possibly the first agent-causal thinker in philosophical history. At the core of Carneades' approach was his concept of voluntary motion of the mind, which he described as having an intrinsic nature of being in our power and of obeying us. Unlike purely mechanical causes, this mental motion originated within the agent yet wasn't random or uncaused. As Cicero reports in De Fato, Carneades maintained that voluntary movement has this nature in itself, that it is in our power and is obedient to us. This perspective created a crucial distinction between different types of causation: external, antecedent causes, which determine outcomes; internal causes originating in our nature, which preserve freedom. Through this distinction, Carneades offered a framework where human actions remain caused, thereby avoiding the randomness problem, yet aren't determined by external forces stretching infinitely backward in time. Truth without necessity. One of Carneades' most significant contributions was breaking the assumed connection between the principle of bivalence and causal determinism. Both Epicureans and Stoics had accepted that if statements about future events were already true or false, determinism must follow. Carneades ingeniously separated these concepts. He affirmed that contradictory statements about the future, such as Tim O'Keefe will die from cancer and Tim O'Keefe will not die from cancer, must indeed follow the principle that one is true and the other false. Nevertheless, he denied that this truth implies immutable eternal causes making it so. To illustrate his point, Carneades appealed to the symmetry between past and future. Just as we call true those past things of which it was an earlier time true that they were being actualized, so we will call true those future things of which it will later be true that they are being actualized. Fundamentally, Carneades distinguished between what makes a statement true, its truth maker, versus what causes an event. If someone recovers from cancer after treatment, the doctor's treatment causes the recovery, yet the truth maker for this person will recover is simply the fact that recovery eventually occurs, not some predetermined necessity. Freedom without indeterminism. Perhaps most remarkably, Carneades rejected both determinism and indeterminism as threats to genuine freedom. Whereas determinism eliminates choice by making all actions inevitable, pure indeterminism reduces actions to mere randomness, equally problematic for moral responsibility. In essence, Carneades proposed a third way. Every event has a cause, yet not all events follow from prior events through exceptionless natural laws. For human actions to be in our power, we must possess the ability to make things turn out otherwise than they actually do turn out, which Carneades saw as incompatible with causal determinism. This position parallels modern agent causation theories where persons themselves, not prior events, cause actions in ways not reducible to either deterministic chains or random occurrences. Fundamentally, Carneades maintained that the power to do otherwise remains essential for both rational deliberation and moral responsibility. Though Carneades was a skeptic who might not have personally endorsed these views, his arguments profoundly influenced subsequent philosophical discourse on freedom. By offering an alternative to both Epicurean indeterminism and Stoic determinism, he demonstrated that freedom need not require either uncaused events or acceptance of fate, thereby establishing an intellectual foundation that continues to shape discussions of free will today.